All right, everybody. So I told you I was going to go to the Burbank Card Shop. And I did, right? It's the day before Thanksgiving. It's Wednesday. And we're driving from Sacramento down to San Diego, which is like, I don't know, a 9-hour drive or something. And along the way, I'm like, we're going to stop at the Burbank Card Shop. This is a world-renowned shop. And this is my opportunity to go. So I've got to go, right? I've got to go to this world-renowned shop. So we do, right? We're battling traffic. We're like 7 hours into the drive. But we're there. And I say, hey, girls, family, I know you don't want to be here. I know you want to keep going on the road. I'll be inside. Just give me a few minutes. So I go inside. And, well, first, let me show you around the shop. And then I'm going to tell you what happened. All right, so here I am out in front of the shop. And I went ahead and, with much anticipation, headed inside. And as you can see, this place is just jam full of cases. And every case is jammed full of cards. You can't even get a great idea of how many cases there are from that. So I started looking through them. You got that cool Jackie Robinson Burke Ross card there. And then they have mostly modern stuff, as you can see. But it's not like low-end modern stuff. But they've got some nice vintage stuff too. You got a cool 61 or high-grade 61 Clemente. You got that Babe Ruth there. A hand-cut card in a 3 grade. And then you head over to this case, and it's just like, autographs of, Jordan and Kobe rookies and Kobe refractor rookies. And these things are like thousands and thousands of dollars, especially in high grade like they are. As you can see some of the prices. It's just amazing. I mean, right here you've got a LeBron and Dr. J autograph card, just with some iconic Luka rookies and cards. And all right, so the shop is great, right? There are cards packed everywhere. They do a really, really good job of using their space to just fill it with cards. It's cases backed up to case, row after row with cards, and it's not just like cheap stuff. It's like lots of really good cards, and they're buying so much. They have like a buyer booth, and they're buying so much that what's happening is every day they have a Monday purchases new inventory case, and then a Tuesday new inventory case, and then a Wednesday new inventory case. So it's like every day for the last week, it has all the new buys there. So if you are a regular at the shop, you just show up and you look at all the stuff that has shown up and been purchased since the last time you were there. It's pretty incredible how much inventory they have and how much inventory is coming in. So then there's this side room, and the side room has a ton of vintage stuff. It's got a lot of vintage football, but it's mostly vintage baseball. And I'm going through this box of, I don't know, a couple hundred ungraded T206s, and there's a lot of pre-war stuff. And I didn't show all this because I'm just trying to, enjoy the shop. And then I start going through, and everything's alphabetical by sport. So it's like baseball A to Z, football A to Z, basketball A to Z. And I'm going through the baseball cases of the stuff that's not the brand new inventory. And I'm walking along, and boom. What do I see? They've got my Grail card. They've got the Ernie Banks, and it's in a grade that's right, I would have thought, outside my price range. I would have thought that a 4.5 was not affordable. And it's got $1,300 on the sticker. And it's a nice looking card. And they're all cut. All the Ernie Bankses are cut where the top border is very, very small. So, well, let's take a look. Let's take a look at the card in question first. Let's take a look at it. Again, this is my card I've been looking for 30 years, right? 30 years I've been looking for this card, and this one is pretty affordable, and it pretty much meets all of my criteria. So check it out. So yeah, right there, there's a Hank Aaron and Ernie Banks rookie card side by side. And that's a nice Banks. It's a 4.5. They're asking $1,300. Now here's a better look at the card from the SGC website. I looked it up and looked it over really good on the high resolution scan that is in their system. And it is really nice. Great edges. Corners are pretty darn decent. Centering's pretty good. You can see, again, sometimes you can see the edges a little bit better on the back with the green borders, but you can see there's not a lot of scuffing along those edges. The main issue with it is the top to bottom centering. So, I mean, it's a pretty nice copy, right? I mean, it's pretty well centered side to side. They're all cut top to bottom off a little bit, so that's very normal. And I'm like, okay, so a really nice guy is helping me. I'm like, can you guys come down at all on the price? Like, I have to ask. And he goes, well, let me ask the manager. So the manager's in there, and he says, hey, what's the best you can do on this card? And he's like, this guy's interested. And again, the sticker's $1,300. So he looks at it for a few minutes and he goes, we can do $1,100. And I'm like, okay. I said, is that card? Is that cash? Like, what do you need? And he goes, well, we'll take $1,100 card or cash. But if you pay cash, it would have sales tax on top of that. If you pay with a card, we'd have to charge you sales tax. Now, when you're talking about a card that's $1,100 and you're in California, the tax rate for sales tax is quite a bit of money. So it's like $100 of taxes, right? And I'm like, okay. I go, so like, does that include Zelle or PayPal? He goes, cash money, like paper money to not pay sales tax. And I'm like, oh. So then my phone starts buzzing because my wife is texting me going, hey, are you done yet? And I'm like, no, I'm in the middle of the deal for the card. Like, this is the card. And they say, we're kind of ready to get going. So I'm like, okay, so if I pay with a card, it's gonna be $1,100 plus tax. It's gonna be like $1,200. If I pay with cash, it's $1,100. He says, yeah. So I look on eBay, and they have the card for sale on eBay. So now I know they'll go down to $1,100 on eBay. I also know I'm gonna be driving right by the Burbank Card Shop in a few days on Sunday on our way home from the soccer tournament. So I'm like, well, maybe and they're like, come on, we got to go. Let's go. We want to beat the traffic. And I'm like, okay. So what happens next? Well, I literally couldn't sleep that night. I was up all night going, what if I call him and I put down a deposit, and on the way home, I get cash and I show up, pay $1,100, because it just feels like I'm going to pay an extra $100 because I don't have cash on me. I couldn't do it. So we continue with the trip, and again, I literally couldn't sleep. And this is the night before Thanksgiving. I could not sleep. I was just thinking, how do I score the card? So the next morning, I wake up and I said, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna email him. So I get on eBay to get the item number of eBay, because I'm gonna say, hey, will you pull this card? I'll pay for it. You know, maybe you could ship it to me, even if I have to pay the extra $100. At this point, I'm like, I just want to buy it. I'll pay the extra $100 in tax and stuff, just to have the card done and have the deal done. So I get on eBay and I pull it up to get the item number to ask him what item I want him to pull, and you wouldn't even believe it. It was sold. The card was sold. The card sold Thanksgiving morning. The next morning, before I could wake up and contact them, it's sold. The card is gone. the hunt continues. My quest for my Grail card continues. How epic would it have been to buy my Grail card from the Burbank Card Shop? But it was not to be. I continue on in my quest.